So today we're in Whitehaven, it's in Cumbria, and so it's virtually in the Lake District. And so this cemetery is open 24 hours, cars are not permitted, zero tolerance for bad behaviour, so be good. You wouldn't want to wake the dead, would you? So the thing that I've noticed when I came here, or came into the cemetery, is the view. So this is Whitehaven town centre there, and so obviously the cemetery's on a hill. So let's have a little peep around. So there seems to be quite a few, the graves are well maintained, people put flowers on, there's some daffodils, which always reminds me of spring. And aged 2 years, so that was sad, wasn't it? 2 years. It doesn't actually say the date they died. In loving memory. 2 years. 67. 57. So you can see there's some nice flowers here. And so it's got a magnificent view, you know. So I don't know if you actually care where you get buried, or some people say, oh, I'll be buried in a bin or a refuge thing, but some people want to say, oh, I'd like to be there or there, and I don't know, it has a good view, but they say one view is the same as the other from a coffin, so you can spend £1,000, £2,000 on the coffin, but when you're lying in them, you're just looking at the lid, aren't you? So it's quite a big cemetery, this. But I did notice one thing. I like those trees, you know. So listen to that sound of the birds. And the traffic. I mean, there's one thing about lockdown, people didn't drive as much, and I suppose there was less pollution. So yeah, daffodils always remind me of the spring. So we're about the 6th of February and the year is 2021. So the reason I'm going to cross the road is because this is the old part of the cemetery. So it says there, Commonwealth war graves. That means somebody who was in the First or Second World War was buried in there, and they're from the Commonwealth, which is like New Zealand, Australia. So, Commonwealth graves. So there's actually daffodils there. Well, they're not come up yet, but that's amazing. And there they are, daffodils. They always remind me of spring. A slightly dull day. And so there's a combination of new graves there, and here the older ones here. (1872), 860, 1839, 889. So you always think like 100 years ago, 150 years ago, people died younger. That was not always the case, you know. I suppose what you do is your body. If you abuse your body by alcohol and drugs, you know, you could die younger than they did 150 years ago. But if you led a good life, or you dealt a good set of cards. You might live till you're 90. But in the end of the day, we all end up with someone wiping our ass if we live long enough. Age 67, age 34. Andrew Hayes, who died on 26th of January 1869, age 62. So the thing about cemeteries is you can look around and you can find somebody who's the same age as you and you think, oh, so fucking elusive. I mean, I'll go on forever, and then you think, maybe not. I mean, one thing about it, eventually we usually end up with someone wiping our ass for us because we're too old and infirm to do it ourselves. Or we lie in the hospital looking at the roof and think, my God, what did I do with my life? So it's quite a big area, and I wonder if anyone actually remembered these people. You know, they were buried here 100 years ago. Imagine the scene. And look at that gravestone there. It's actually leaning, which is possible it will fall. I mean, some councils actually lay these things down, the headstones, because eventually after 100 years they go a bit wobbly, as you can see. (1844 to 1894). As you can see, like, this gravestone's actually wobbly. I mean, it's leaning, and that one there, see the way it's leaning. Alright.
You don't know where Mick Jagger's grandfather is it, do you?
You what?
Mick Jagger's grandfather, do you know where he's buried?
Is he buried in here?
He's buried in here, aye, but I don't know where it's at, like.
I've no idea. I mean, there is a site you can look at, isn't there?
Right.
I wonder why it's buried here.
He's got the moves like me, so I buried him here.
I think it's from London, isn't it?
What are you doing, like?
Me, I was just walking around, video in the cemetery. I upload them to YouTube.
Mick Jagger's from Whitehaven. Alright. Got me on YouTube, you get to me. You got the food like Jagger.
Mick Jagger is from London. Shepherd's Bush or something.
Alright. That's your mission. I want. Where are you going to be Tuesday and Thursday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. I want you to find that grave.
I'll have a look online for you. So there's some snowdrops there. So again, you get snowdrops and then you get daffodils. So if you're ever here and you're interested in graveyards, come and have a look. So there's one, as I say, they do tend to fall. Actually, there was a kid, 11-year-old kid somewhere in Scotland, a gravestone fell on and killed him. So that's why some cemeteries or some council actually laid them down to stop them falling. So you can see the whole thing is quite hilly. They were telling me Mick Jagger's grandfather was buried here. I don't think he is, but at least people are friendly and got a sense of humour. So there's another one that's leaning. It said erected, but it's actually leaning, you know. Amazing. And we go back to 1858 there. So it's amazing that that gravestone has been there since 1858. Age 72. Jane, his beloved wife, who died August the 31st, 1864. Age 67. So they always say one thing, or do they? They say that time waits for no one, or one. So, you know, we're here today, we're gone tomorrow. You know, once you thought you had so much time, and then you look, time is gone, and you think, where did it go to? So you want to get off your couch and get off your computer and go and have a walk, see what life's about. Maybe you'll meet someone, maybe you'll fall in love, maybe you'll rescue someone. (1947). Look at that one, 1879 to 1971. So that's a beautiful sound, the birds singing. So we'll end it there.